Will the IRS do your taxes for you? The answer is a resounding yes. They will do your taxes for you. Why would they do this? Why would they go through the trouble of doing your taxes for you? And the answer is very simple. It's because they want your money. But before they can take your money, before they can take collection activity against you, before they can garnish your wages, levy your bank account, take your Social Security, before they do that, before there is a collection of tax, there must be an assessment of tax. And the only way, for the vast majority of cases, the only way that a tax is assessed is if either you file a tax return and calculate your tax liability voluntarily by filing your Form 1040, right, for individuals, your Form 1120 if you're a C corporation, your 941s if you run payroll for your federal payroll tax obligations. That's the typical way that a tax is assessed, by the taxpayer voluntarily filing a tax return and saying, look, here's what I owe, here's what I've paid in so far, and here's what I still owe you, IRS. Typical way that a tax is assessed. If they pay the tax, great. If they've overpaid the tax, they get a refund. If they can't pay everything on the return, the IRS is going to take forced collection activity against them, probably. Now, what if a taxpayer falls out of that scenario because they didn't actually file their own tax return? Well, in many cases, the IRS will take it upon themselves to file what's called a substitute for return, or an SFR. This is essentially a tax return the IRS files for you, right? So once they prepare that SFR, they're going to send you some notices. Hey, we prepared a return for you based on the information we have from third parties like 1099s, W-2s, etc. And assuming you don't respond to those, to the 30-day letter, right? Then they'll send a 90-day letter, and which gives you your tax court rights to petition the tax court. And during all of this process, you could just file your original return, right? And deal with the problem that way. But assuming you don't do all these things, you don't protest this SFR, they're going to make an assessment based on the SFR, okay? And after they've made the assessment, well, then they can collect from you. They'll send you the typical, CP14, the CP 501, 503, 504, then your file notice, and after that, they can start taking your stuff. I've gone over these things in more detail. I've gone over the SFR process in a video you can check up here on your top of your screen, how they prepare SFRs, what data do they use, how do they know if they should file an SFR for somebody. And I've also gone over these notices that I talked about. You can check out a playlist with the videos I've made about IRS notices right up here at the top of your screen. But just in a short, succinct way, will the IRS do your tax return for you? Yes. The answer is yes, or at least they can. Do they do this for everybody who doesn't file? No. Typically, like if you're a wage earner and you're way sufficiently withheld, and you would probably get a refund anyway, IRS probably not going to do that. But if you're 1099, you get a lot of truck drivers who don't file. If you're a 1099 truck driver, you're on the road all the time, owner operator, you can't. Time to file returns, or any other 1099. If you're self-employed, you get 1099, you don't pay your taxes in. Oh boy, the IRS can come in with a sledgehammer, make an assessment based on your gross 1099, not giving you credit for any depreciation on the truck you bought, not giving you credit for all the interest, right, for financing the truck. I'm just using truck driver as an example. This can apply to any industry, right? But they're not going to give you any benefit for your actual business expenses. They're just going to assess the tax based on that gross 1099, and they're going to send you and if you don't respond, you don't protest, they're going to send you a big old fat tax bill. And they'll probably assign a revenue officer to you, because with penalties and interest, just based on your gross 1099, let's say it's $200,000 for years, the liability they think you owe is going to be massive, right? And once you get in that web, right, it's a lot harder to untangle it, because now they're just really going to scrutinize things. So it's in your best interest to file and get compliant as soon as you can. Okay, and before the IRS starts this SFR process and forces an SFR on you. So anyway, folks, like I said, I have, I think my SFR video where I go in greater depth on this, it's like 30, 40 minutes long. This is kind of just a little, brief answer to the question, will the IRS file a return for you? If you want to see that video where I go in massive depth on the IRS substitute return process, you can check out the video at the top left of your screen. I also have a playlist of all my tax relief videos right here at the bottom left of your screen. Of course, if you want to reach out to us, my name is Logan Alec. I'm a CPA. I own Choice Tax Relief. You can schedule your free consultation by calling 866-8000-TAX. That's 866-8000-829, or by visiting us online at choicetaxrelief.com. All right, I'll see you later, folks. Bye-bye.